everyone, my name is Steph the Gargoyle. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my monthly TBR video. This video is going to be dedicated to the books that I hope to read in September. I'm super excited for this video and for the month of September, since it is the last month before I start my last semester in my master's degree in psychology. I start on the 2nd of October, I think. And I really want to use this month to get myself back into reading nonfiction, into filling some gaps in my knowledge that I have, and just getting my ducks in a row for the new school year. This is why I will be talking to you about quite a few psychology books, as well as some manga for fun, since I have been getting into manga for quite a while now. However, I've barely been reading any of the series that I want. So that will change this month. And I also have some options for novels, for some fun books that I think you enjoy seeing me read. However, again, my psychology books will be the priority for this month. Without further ado, let's start with the first book. So, Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman is the first book that I will be hopefully finishing this month. It looks small, but it is 400 pages and the font is really small, so it is a bit of an intimidating read, especially because I know that there's so much that I need to learn from this book. But I've also had this copy for years now and have not read it yet, so I'm definitely reading this. It is mostly focused on cognitive psychology and how our brain works and how we think. I think he divides the way that we think in two systems, but other than that, I have no idea what this book is about, other than, if you are interested in cognitive psychology, you should read this. Speaking of cognitive psychology, I would also like to I don't know if I will get through the whole thing, but this is my textbook for cognitive psychology. I had this course in my first semester. We did, however, studied it in English, so I have these lectures in PDFs in English. So maybe I'll go through them or I'll go through this book. I'm not quite sure, I haven't decided yet. But I'm very angry with myself because there's just so much that I want to learn, and I have not been the academic weapon that I ought to have been. So I really hope that I change that and I turn my academic career this coming semester. We'll see if I'll be able to do that, but that is part of my intellectual wellness journey, which is, what this channel is dedicated to. So we have these two books. Then I also hope, I'm not sure if I'll have time for them, but I hope to at least start Dopamine Nation, which is about pleasure and pain and how our senses are completely overwhelmed with pleasure nowadays and how that actually causes us a lot of harm. And then I would also like to read a psychology classic, which is Games People Play. It is a very well-known book. It is how we communicate and the games that make up our personalities and our relationships with other people. So super excited for those two. Again, I don't know if I'll be finishing them since I will be focusing on my textbook, but if I, can get them halfway done, I'll be a happy girl. Those were my nonfiction books, which I understand don't look like a lot, but I do read nonfiction rather slowly as I'm not used to reading it. I've only read a handful of nonfiction books, but I'm very excited about them. Now I want to talk to you about the manga series that I'll be doing my absolute best to finish this semester. I also think that after days of reading nonfiction, finishing off the days with a manga volume would be rather nice. So this series, it is an old but a gold one. It is called Claymore. It has, I think, 28 volumes. There might be more. I think it was 28. It is rather popular for the people that do read manga. I don't think it's that popular for people who just go into manga, but this is probably the, I think, only anime that I have finished, and I watched this years and years ago. I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times, and that was before I even knew what anime was, what manga was, and I was just so impressed by it. It has inspired me for my own stories so much, and I'm super excited. And I think now that I want to go on this journey of reading manga and really getting into this world of anime and manga, I have to start with this one, with the one that has a very special place in my heart. So what is this about? It is basically this sort of medieval world, or at least it looks like that, that the people are hunted by these monsters. And we have this society of silver-eyed witches, they call them. They don't call themselves that, they're called Claymore. That they themselves are, they have parts of the monsters in them, which is what gives them the powers to fight those monsters. So they go around and kill those monsters, they get paid for it, or I don't think they get paid for it, I think their company gets paid for them. So it is super interesting because they're supposed to be absolutely dedicated to their craft. They're not supposed to have really, feelings or anything like that. And yeah, it's so much more than what I'm explaining. I will talk about it more as I read the volumes, but I'm super excited. I have the first 15 volumes of this. I don't have the rest of the volumes. I will either be purchasing them as I read along, or since I'm currently unemployed, I might actually just find them online and read them online. So that is my manga series for this month. I'm definitely finishing it. I don't care. I'm so tired of not reading amazing books, of just not reading at all, that I will be finishing that. Yeah. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not quite sure how much time I will have left between the manga and the non-fiction books. So I have picked some novels here that I will definitely not be finishing, but I think they're quite good options for me. So if I do feel the need to read something fiction-like, I will probably get one of those. So the first one is this cute little thing that I have called The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I'm so excited for this. I picked this up mainly because I read Legends and Lattice at the beginning of the year and absolutely fell in love with the cozy fantasy genre. And a lot of people online say that if you enjoyed Legends and Lattice, that you will love this. So I truly hope that I will. I'm not quite sure what this is about, so I think that it takes place in a world where people have magical abilities, and there are these orphanages or something like that where children with such powers go to, and our main character is something like a social worker that goes and makes sure that the children are not in danger and that they themselves are not a danger to society. That is pretty much what I know about this, but I know that it has the found family trope, and that it's just supposed to be the coziest, sweetest book, so very excited about this one. Next, I have this big, chunky boy right here, The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I'm so excited about this book as well. I've been meaning to read it for quite a while. I do think that there's a TV show based off of it, but I don't know if it's any good. I also don't know much about the story other than that it is about the building of this great cathedral. So it is a story of what you would give up, of what you would sacrifice, of how you would dedicate your life in the name of God, in the name of religion, and what you believe most holy. And cathedrals, I have a weird fascination with cathedrals and churches. I just think that they're so beautiful, so I'm really excited about this. And I've heard that it is one of the greatest books of our time, the classic masterpiece, it says here, so I think I'm going to like it. Can't wait. I will not be finishing this in September, but I will maybe start it. Another option that I have is this pretty little boy here. This is called De Profundis. It is by Oscar Wilde, and it is his essay that he writes, I believe, whilst he's in prison, and it is a reflection of his life, his choices, his works. I know that while he was in prison, it was a very, very difficult time for him because the labor there was absolutely deadly for people that, you know, haven't worked a day in their life, but I suppose for normal people as well. But I'm super, super excited about this. I haven't read much by Oscar Wilde. I've read his fairy tales and absolutely loved them. I have not read The Picture of Dorian Gray, but I will be getting to that as well. But anyways, I'm very, very interested whenever an author leaves a diary behind or some type of memoir, or in this case, I think it's an essay or a little text that just reflects on his life. So very excited about this one. And then my last option is this beauty right here. This is The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien. Whenever I make lists, and I make quite a lot of lists because I enjoy them immensely, I whenever I make one about what books are most important for me to read, what books am I angry that I haven't read yet, usually the first couple of places are taken up by Tolkien. I'm so angry at myself. It is Middle Earth is my absolute second home, my fantasy home, and there's nothing that I don't love about all of the movies, all of the music. The only thing that I'm disappointed is that I have not read the books themselves. I really want to start reading Tolkien, and not just The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, but every single book that accompanies Middle Earth, plus every single other book that he has written that has nothing to do with Middle Earth, but you know, for example, The Fall of King Arthur or Beowulf, you know, things like that. His reimaginings of the legends. So yeah, I cannot wait, and I heard that the great place to start with Tolkien is The Hobbit, so very excited about this one. So those were the books that I wanted to talk to you about. I hope I get to most of them in the month of September. I'm usually very bad at following any TBR, but since I have been following a TBR quite closely for the past couple of months without really realizing it, I think it will be interesting to see if I can do so with TBR's videos. There are also a couple of books that I will be starting now while I'm filming this video. It is still August, so I probably won't be finishing them. I might finish them in September. There are also some other books that I usually pick up randomly throughout the month, so I'll show you those. But anyways, those have been the books. Let me just get them all for one final look. So here we go with the books that I have. Obviously, there are a couple more that I mentioned, and Claymore is quite a few volumes, but here we have my little beautiful heavy pile. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments what books you're planning to read for September. Do you plan on reading anything that will help you prepare for the upcoming school year, or are you just enjoying the last days of vacation that we all have? I'm very, very excited for the new month, for the new books that I'll be picking up. I'll be filming vlogs, so you will be seeing these books. And yeah, I wish you a great day or night whenever it is you're watching this video. And I look forward to reading your comments or questions if you have any. And I will see you in our next video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.